So, let's talk about agriculture in Africa. Right now, it's standing at this incredible crossroads. On one side, you've got this mind blowing potential. We're talking 60% of the entire planet's uncultivated arable land. But on the other, it's being held back by some really deep systemic challenges. So the big question is, how can technology actually bridge that gap? Let's dive in. And that really gets to the heart of what we're exploring today. The way forward isn't just about doing more of the same. It's about farming smarter. Look, it's pretty clear. The old ways of doing things just aren't going to cut it anymore. The key to unlocking Africa's green revolution, it's all about data, connection, and technology. And you have to understand, the scale here is just massive. We're not talking about some small niche industry. Get this, 60% of the population in sub-Sahara Africa are smallholder farmers. These aren't just numbers on a page. They are the absolute backbone of the continent's rural economies. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. A staggering 70% of those very farmers, the engine of the rural economy, have zero access to formal credit. I mean, can you imagine trying to grow your business, buy better equipment, or invest for the future without any access to capital? It's like trying to run a race with your legs tied together. This single gap is holding millions of people back. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll tackle the paradox at the heart of African agriculture. Then, we'll look at a really powerful new partnership. After that, we'll dive deep into their 4-layer blueprint for change, see how it completely transforms one farmer's life, and wrap it all up by looking at why the future of farming is all about being connected. Okay, so let's start with that big puzzle, that agricultural paradox in Africa. You've got this continent with all this incredible land, all this potential, but it's constantly being held back by these systemic gaps. We're talking financing, getting goods to market, you name it. It's a problem that has been incredibly tough to solve. So what if the answer isn't just one thing, but two powerful forces coming together? Well, that's exactly what's happening with this new alliance, and it's designed to tackle this paradox head on. On one team, you've got the Confederation of African Farmers, or CAF. Think of them as the voice of the land. They have the trust, the deep local knowledge that you just can't fake. And on the other team, Pulsar Technologies. They're the engine of innovation, a tech startup that's all about building AI and IoT solutions that actually work in an African context. And this is where the magic happens. When you bring that deep, on-the-ground trust from CAF and pair it with the high-tech, scalable solutions from Pulsar, well, that's when things get truly transformative. Together, their goal is nothing short of building the digital backbone for the entire continent's agricultural sector. So what's their master plan? How do they actually do this? Well, it's not just a bunch of random apps. Nope. It's a really smart 4-layer ecosystem where every single piece is designed to build on the next, all for inclusive growth. The blueprint is built on 4 pillars that all lock together. It starts with step 1, know. Basically, building intelligence. Then step 2, connect, creating that vital network. After that, step 3 is empower, turning all that potential into real results. And finally, step 4, integrate, weaving these farmers into strong, sustainable local economies. The genius here is how they all work together. Let's start with layer 1, know. This is the foundation. Using their GeoTrack platform, every single farm gets a digital identity. We're talking high-fidelity mapping. What's the soil like? Where does the water come from? What crops are growing? Suddenly, you're moving from guesswork to actual science. A farmer isn't just a farmer anymore. They're a known, bankable asset. So you've got all this great data. Now what? You connect. Layer 2 is all about building a massive digital network across Africa. It's kind of like a LinkedIn for agriculture. It links farmers to other farmers, but also to buyers, to suppliers, even to banks. All of a sudden, that isolated farmer is part of a huge, thriving continental community. Okay, layer 3, empower. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Take the Zena Apps Marketplace, for instance. It lets farmers sell directly to buyers. Boom! No more middleman taking a huge cut. That means better prices for the farmer and way less food getting wasted. But empowerment isn't just about money. It's also about knowledge. Check this out. It's an AI tool on your phone. A farmer can just snap a picture of a leaf and bam! It instantly tells them what disease their plant has. It is literally like having an expert agronomist right there in your pocket whenever you need one. And remember that huge financing problem we talked about? Well, this is how they're cracking it. It's not just about handing out money. It's a financing plus incubation model. So every loan comes with a whole support system wrapped around it. And the results are just staggering. The failure rate for new farm businesses plummets from 60% all the way down to just 15%. That's a game changer. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, Layer 4, integrate. Through a platform called EgoX, they're helping to formalize the local economy. It allows for a simple, transparent way to collect small local taxes like out-of-market. And this does two amazing things. First, it gives farmers an official financial history, which makes them way more creditworthy. And second, it gives local governments the money they need to build things like roads and schools. Okay, that's a lot of theory and strategy, so let's bring it down to earth and see what this actually looks like for a real person. Let's follow the journey of a farmer we'll call Amina. All right, so first up, no, Amina's 2-hectare farm gets mapped on GeoTrack. She now has a digital identity. Next, connect. She hops on the network, joins a co-op, gets some great advice on pest control, and even finds a reliable buyer for her tomatoes. Then comes empower. Because she has all this verified data on her farm, she's able to secure a €10,000 loan for a new smart irrigation kit. And finally, integrate. Her income triples, and she's now paying her local taxes through the EGOX app, which helps fund a new road to the main market. You see? She's gone from just getting by to becoming a successful agripreneur. And the really powerful thing here is that Amina's story isn't just a feel-good, one-off success. The whole system is built to scale by creating this incredible, self-reinforcing, virtuous cycle. So how does it get so strong? Well, the real magic is that the system feeds itself. It all starts with good data. That data lets them create better services, like loans and insurance. Those great services attract more farmers to the platform. And more farmers means more engagement, which generates even more rich data. It's a flywheel, an engine that just gets more and more powerful with every single person who joins. And this isn't just a dream. There's a very clear roadmap. Phase 1, over the next year to year and a half, is about piloting and improving the model in 3 countries. Phase 2 is all about regional expansion. And from there, Phase 3 is taking it to a full continental scale. The goal is to become the definitive operating system for all of African agriculture. So when you step back and look at it, what does it really take to build something this huge, this transformative? Well, it takes more than just code. It takes trust. It takes technology, and most importantly, it takes a vision that sees millions of smallholder farmers not as a problem, but as the solution itself. Because that's what this is all about in the end, right? A future where every single harvest is connected, where farming is prosperous and sustainable, where a single farm isn't just feeding a family, but is part of a system that's helping to feed the world. That's the vision. That's the future of the connected harvest.